So, what if I told you that you could completely change the course of your entire day in just the first 10 minutes? I know, it sounds like a huge promise, but today we're going to break down a really simple routine that's designed to do exactly that. It's all about stopping self-doubt in its tracks and building up real self-belief, one morning at a time. Let's dive in. First, let's just get real about a feeling that might be a little too familiar for a lot of us. That feeling of waking up and already feeling defeated. You know, that sense that you're already behind, totally overwhelmed, and full of doubt before the day has even really kicked off. You know what I'm talking about, right? Before your feet even hit the floor, your mind is just racing with all the reasons today might not go your way. It is such a heavy weight to start the morning with, isn't it?
And look, this isn't just some generic quote we pulled out of thin air. This is the actual internal monologue that the author of our source material was dealing with. It's that nagging voice, that little bit of doubt that can just paralyze you before you've even had a chance to have your morning coffee.
But what if you could just hit a reset button on that whole cycle? Well, that's exactly where this idea comes in. We're not talking about some massive life overhaul here, but a small, totally manageable tool that you can use every single day.
Just 10 minutes, that's it. That is the magic number here. We're not asking for an hour of your time or for you to learn some complicated system. It's short, it's doable, and as you're about to see, it's incredibly powerful.
So, let's give it a name, the belief routine. And you can really think of it as your own personal reset button for your mind and your spirit. It's a structured practice that's specifically designed to shut down that negative morning soundtrack and replace it with some intentional, focused confidence. Okay, so you're probably wondering, how does this actually work? Let's get into the nitty-gritty and break down the 5 simple 2-minute steps that make up this whole routine. The entire thing is broken into these 5 easy steps. And get this, each one is just 2 minutes long, and they're designed to build on each other. We start with our words, then we move to our spirit, then to our mind, our imagination, and finally, we get into action. So, let's start with step 1. All right, for the first 2 minutes, your job is to pick 3 affirmations that go right after your specific doubts. The source material suggests saying them out loud, maybe even into a mirror. So if you're feeling incapable, you look yourself in the eye and say, I am capable, I am enough. You're literally speaking a new truth into your day. Next, for 2 minutes, you take some time to connect and just center yourself. For some people, this is going to be prayer, asking a higher power for a little strength, a little clarity. For others, it might just be silent meditation, just focusing on your breath and finding a quiet moment before all the chaos of the day begins. For the next 2 minutes, it's time to shift your focus. Grab a notebook and just jot down 3 things, just 3 that you're grateful for. Now, this sounds simple, but the key here is that this one little act forces your brain to switch from a mindset of what's missing to one of appreciation for what you already have. Okay, next up, you get to be the director of your own movie for the day. For 2 minutes, you're going to close your eyes and just vividly imagine yourself succeeding. I mean, really see it. See yourself nailing that big presentation, or having that tough conversation calmly, or just tackling a project with total confidence. You're basically rehearsing victory. And finally, the last 2 minutes. This, my friends, is where belief becomes reality. You don't just stop at feeling good, you actually do something. And it can be tiny. Send that one email you've been putting off, make one quick phone call, or even just write down your to-do list for the day. And that is why this last step is so important. See, doubt freezes us. It leads to inaction. But real belief, once you've sparked it, it just demands action. That one small thing you do, it's the proof. It reinforces everything you just did in the first 8 minutes. So that's the how, but let's quickly touch on the why. What is it that makes these 10 minutes so powerful? Because, it's not magic. It's actually based on some really practical, solid principles.
The reasons are pretty simple, but they're profound. First off, anyone can find 10 minutes. It's doable. Second, and this is the real game changer, things like affirmations and visualization, they aren't just feel-good fluff. They literally start to build new, more positive pathways in your brain. You're physically training your mind to lean into confidence instead of doubt. And finally, it builds momentum. Every single day you do it is another small win, and those wins stack up into real, lasting confidence.
All right, we've looked at the problem, we've got the solution, and we know the principles that make it work. So now the only thing left is to actually make it real for you. This is really the core takeaway, and it is such a powerful promise. It's not about finding some magic bullet that fixes everything overnight. It's about committing to a small, daily practice. That consistency, that's what creates the real transformation. And that brings us right to the final, and maybe the most important question of all. If you were going to start this routine tomorrow morning, what would that one tiny 2-minute action be? What's the very first step you can take to turn that feeling of belief into something real? Think about it. That small step could really be the start of everything.
Want to start your week with power, peace, and purpose? Join the Affirm Your Greatness community, where faith meets mindset, all for just $9 a month or $50 a year. This is your space to speak life, grow boldly, and walk in God's promises. Affirm your greatness, speak life, live boldly.
Now available on Amazon.com. Unlock the transformative power of positive affirmations with this essential guide by certified personal development coach and motivational speaker, Dennis of DennisMotivates.com. In Affirm Your Greatness, you'll discover the science behind affirmations and learn how to craft personalized affirmations that resonate with your unique journey. Get your copy today. Find the link in the description. Thanks.